What's up, everybody? Well, I got another gameplay video for you guys today, and today we're checking out that Chrono Odyssey game out on the Steam Decks. If it'll play, that is. It might not. Or even if it does, we might get in there and it runs like absolute garbage. So, we will give it a shot. If it doesn't work, hey, at least you'll know not to bother wasting your time, at least not right now. Now, keep in mind, this is an open beta. Things could obviously change and get better, or though who knows, maybe things could get even worse. Nobody really thinks about that. Sometimes it does happen. I've played a couple games open beta where I'm like, oh wow, this is actually pretty good. Then the game comes out, I'm like, wow, this sucks ass. So, who knows what could happen. So, we're just basically playing this just for fun, just seeing what's what. Basically, my friend Pat told me all about the game. He was having some fun with it, so I was like, I'm not really that into MMOs, but I'm sure some of my subscribers would like to see this game, so thanks for the idea. So, here we are. So, why don't we now go get started?
So, alright, we'll do what we usually do and just try the default setting of high, which I believe is quite overzealous for a game like this. The Steam Deck hasn't had a great track history with Unreal Engine 5 games. Sometimes it can barely get away with being playable while looking at absolute garbage. Or having to rely on an immense amount of upscaling. So long as that doesn't make the CPU get bottlenecked. Because obviously that's not exactly a powerhouse in that department, and when you get to a certain point and get it too low, then the CPU goes, hey, I've got way too much to do, and the GPU's sitting here twiddling its thumbs going doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Anyway though, why don't we hop in and just see what it does anyway, and if it sucks, well then we'll just put everything on low and we won't try this again.
At last, we'll soon be rid of this mess.
A relic that reverts time. To think we've come this far chasing mere myth.
Tails, fucking hell. As if there was another choice. No allies, kin. We've not left to lose.
Soldiers, we move to secure the relic. Ready yourselves. Balder, join me at the front.
Get up! 'Tis an ambush! Grab your arms. We must find Etheldrada. I hope Etheldrada's okay. We must hold her. Shit, there's no end! You go first, Captain! The ruins are beyond the forest! We must save the Captain and securing the relic!
Alright, we're gonna turn things down to low. High was somewhat okay to a certain point, but it wouldn't be once you get out of the starting area, trust me. I mean, we can barely stay at anywhere close to playable FPS once we get out of that area, and don't pay any mind to this DirectX 12 and 11 shit. I didn't realize this at the time, but It seems to just stay at DirectX 12 the whole time, no matter what you do with this. Probably because it's an open beta and they just didn't add both of those in here. They probably will once the game launches. I mean, unless I was just doing something wrong, but I restarted the whole game.
To think a little sort like you made it this far. To the right! They're tenacious, I'll give them that. What must be in the ruins after all? I'll hold off the void here. You head to the captain.
Do not falter! Strike through! be the relic?
So here's where I tried to change the API just for fun, I do believe. Yep, this is DirectX 12, but I didn't know this, but once I got to a computer with Afterburner, I realized it's always DX12. No matter what you do with this thing, it's always DX12. I just don't think this switch does anything yet. If ever. We'll see when the game actually comes out. Either way, let's get into the game. So now we're gonna move on to the OLED. We're just gonna start on low, because high would run like absolute poop dick here. It'd be like probably in the single digits to like barely in the double digits, like 12, 13 would be my guess. Even if we turn down the render res. And then after this, I also tried DX12, not realizing that the game always uses DX12. And then this thing on top of that runs it through a Proton layer. So I don't think it really matters that much anyway, but I tried it, and I just think of it as giving us a little more gameplay.
getting through? Aye, little son! I've a task for you!
Alright, so yeah. I went back out before I started just to see if DX12 and 11 were really bad. Oh, you're a good guy. I thought you were firing at me, you're firing at those evil things, aren't you? Oh, let's just talk to you. Yeah, this is definitely not very playable, from what I could see. At first, it seemed like it might be, you know, terrible looking but playable, but no. It's both terrible looking and unplayable on here as far as I'm concerned. DX12 and 11 doesn't really matter. I thought, oh, it's just DX11 probably being terrible, or 12 being terrible. Let's go back to 11, and I went back to 11 before I started recording, and no. Pretty much same FPS. It's like an FPS difference between the two. I think DX11 gets like 1 or 2 extra FPS. Standing in the exact same spot. But yeah, getting like 23, 26 FPS does not make this an enjoyable experience. Maybe there's some people that could enjoy this still. So I'll still get some gameplay, but this is not very fun. But I wasn't really expecting it to be. Most of the time,
MMOs in general don't run very good on this. They're too CPU dependent, and Steam Deck does not exactly have a super powerful CPU after all. We all know that. Owie. What are you? I'm taking it. It's mine. Nope, not any of you guys supposed to talk to. Wants me to talk to somebody. But yeah, if we're getting 22 FPS on low, imagine how terrible high would be in this spot compared to how it was in the beginning. It was already pretty bad. Talk to Kaya. I thought I already talked to her and then she told me to go. Nope, I talked to that person. I was supposed to talk to this person. Hey, at least I noticed that before walking off in the middle of absolutely nowhere.
I trust you know the way to the outpost. Head to the Eye of Insight nearby, unless you fancy getting lost.
Alright. Alright. I think we're good to roll. Oh boy. No. I'll get where it wants me to go. Head to the coastal outpost. Oh. Probably wasn't supposed to do anything besides touch it anyway. I thought they were having me teleport somewhere. But it wouldn't let me select the area with the little exclamation point on it, so I guess they want me to walk? It's been a while since I played an MMO. These things were always like, well, not all of them, but a lot of them are like overly complicated for no good reason, so that's why I never really got into them. But I mean, MMO is basically supposed to be one of the biggest time wasters of all video games. That's just what it's designed to do. I mean, the only thing worse than that is cell phone games, where they're just like, hey man, just give us a little money and you can get farther. Come on. At least these don't do that. You can't usually be like, hey man, here's $1,000. I just want to be max level and have all the best stuff in the game. Most MMOs don't let you do that. Some do though. I don't really like those ones. It's like then I'm free player like music, oh, so I automatically completely suck ass compared to everyone else that doesn't spend money. Great. Doesn't make you really want to play. Alright, where are we going now? That way? Alright, I can't deal with this horrid frame rate anymore. Well, we still have to deal with a little more. I still have to go do the OLED, but I think we're just going to put it on DirectX freaking 12 and just try to play, because there's like no difference between them. There's no point in sitting there wasting time doing that. I tried it on this one. The other one we all know is not that much faster. You might get an FPS or 2, maybe 5 if you're really lucky, and that's that. Either way, let's move on to the OLED. Alright, moving straight on to camera recorder. I figured there's really no point in trying high, since it wasn't gonna, if we were getting like 17 FPS in that other area where we were getting 30 on low, so imagine what we'd get on high out here. We'd probably get like 10. I climb. Oh, no. So yeah, completely unplayable on Steam Deck. Not surprising. But hey, I didn't even think it would actually play the game. I figured it'd have anti-cheat even on open beta and just go, nope, that's not supported by Linux. Sorry, buddy, you're not playing shit. But who cares? Even if you can get in here, I don't think too many people are going to have fun playing FPS in looks like this. Just saying, maybe some people would, so that's why we're still getting a little gameplay, but this is definitely not a fun experience. But whatever. I'm still kind of impressed it actually went into the game, though, to be perfectly honest. Like I said, I figured anti-cheat was going to go, nope. Nah, never mind. If I do that, I'll die. I want to just jump off and get down there fast. I always do that in games, and then I die. And I go, ah, shit, now I gotta go all the way back up, and it's going to take me even longer. Or in this case, I'd lose a bunch of experience and shit and respawn in town, but who wants to lose all that experience, right? Are you a bad thing? Yes. I can't even spawn the land properly. I just ran into a thing that I didn't see because it hadn't spawned in front of me yet. Not gonna lie, these frame rates are reminding me of some of the times playing Breath of the Wild on the original Switch. And people play that, so that's what makes me think, hey, some people could still probably play this and have fun. Not me. This is a little too low for me. I gotta have at least a bare minimum of 30. And plus, I feel like this is the kind of game I'd enjoy more with keyboard and mouse. Most MMOs are more built around those anyway. But hey, at least this one's got alright controller support. I didn't have to do anything. It just seems to work, so that's at least cool. I'm glad it at least does that. Makes my life a lot easier here. Otherwise, I'd have to put this in a freaking... what do they call that? A dock. And then just point the camera at it, because I can't do screen recorded and docking at the same time. Not with this guy, anyway. Hey, we completed an epic quest. It was the most epic of all quests.
Heading to the settlement, are we? How about some company? I am Bromek, humble pilgrim of Kronos. Though I may seem no more than a beggar, 'tis far from the truth. Speaking of, that peculiar clock of yours. I knew it looked familiar. Its design is identical to the painted walls of the Temple of Kronos. If my memory serves true, 'twas Kronos himself who crafted that sacred relic. Yet, yours looks more... Fie. These cursed knees of mine. The settlement lies just ahead. A sacred monument known as the Bound Stone lies near the entrance.
The Bound Stone.
There we shall part ways.
It's so bountiful and stony.
Where might I find a loaf of bread?
Yeah, towns are going to be even worse. Usually towns with all the NPCs and all of the player characters running around are usually the worst. So the fact that we haven't dropped too far down isn't that bad. I figured we would be in the single digits here, to be perfectly honest. Alright, let's go talk to this dude real quick and then end this madness. It is not very fun. Or chick, rather. No, that is a dude, isn't it? Yeah, it's a dude. The dude is we'll talk to Shim. Oh, I can't get taken out. I see a treasure to that like at the beginning of the game. I thought, oh, am I gonna get more cool stuff for free? But no. Alright, though. I think that's about all I can take of the low frame rate. Luckily, this doesn't make me nauseous. Some people get nauseous looking at frame rates this low. I'm glad I'm not that hateful of lower frame rates. Either way, let's wrap this up.
Well, alright guys, that's a wrap for Chrono Odyssey on the Steam Deck OLED and LCD. And it was definitely not a very fun experience. Truth be told though, I wasn't really expecting it to be. Hell, I wasn't even expecting it to work at all. I figured it was gonna go, nope, anti-cheat doesn't work. I don't care if this is an open beta. It still has anti-cheat. Linux is a no-go. So sorry, no gameplay for you. You're gonna have to make one of those 4-minute videos of the game just failing to run. So ha. And I hate making those, but at the same time, I still like having people not waste their time trying a game that isn't gonna work. I mean, obviously that is if they find my little channel, that is. But regardless, I still like doing it. So regardless, it did start, didn't crash or anything like that, but it was not exactly a pleasant looking experience, and the frame rate was atrocious and all over the place, and the frame times were all over the place. I mean, let's be honest, Steam Decks, CPUs and stuff usually don't like most MMOs anyway, if you can actually play them and get into them in the first place, but they're usually CPU heavy as hell, and we all know this thing isn't exactly a powerhouse, especially in the CPU department. I'd say it's more impressive in the GPU department than it is in the CPU department. The CPU just kind of exists. It's kind of like, hey, we made this to be really, really good at low power gaming, so have fun. It's not a let's play everything at 4K Ultra kind of machine. Never was, never will be. You're never gonna have a handheld that has the power of badass PCs and like bigger laptops and stuff like that. Because even laptops kind of suck compared to like desktop chips. Like that laptop right behind there, that thing's like $3,000 almost, and that thing gets its absolute teeth kicked in by like a my 9700 and 4070 Ti, and that system's way cheaper than this because it's a desktop. And even then, you can save money because that thing's all small, and we all know small stuff costs lots extra for the smallness factor. Anyway, though, I'm going off on a tangent here. So you can see what you saw here, and if that's still good enough and you want to give it a shot on your Steam Deck, well, hey, all the power to you. It's a little bit too low for me, but like I always say, I am not everybody. So that's why I still made the video and didn't just go, oh, this kind of sucks. Let's just end the video and say, nah, I wouldn't play it, man. So anyway, that's all I got for this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, because I sure as hell enjoyed making it for you guys. And until the next video, peace out, guys.